Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly Q&A. As always, we'll start off with a quick update. The online multiplayer event for WWE Immortals is Animal Batista, and the character challenge for the next day and a bit is
It's technically not a character challenge.
Well, it's just the challenge is the Stephanie McMahon gear vault at the highest level, but it's the one where each level you get a slightly better reward for completion.
Well, yes and no. The gold booster pack is a little bit better to me than the gear locker, and it bears out in the price, so it's weird.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's not so much a progression as just different stuff. But the best one is Stephanie McMahon's gear vault booster pack.
I think it feels like a GIF a little bit either way because gold booster pack isn't as good as a specific challenge character usually, and gear locker pack definitely isn't as good as even a gold booster pack, so it feels a little strange.
Totally agree.
In Mortal Kombat X, there is no current challenge. It's likely to be Dark Lord Kotal Khan, considering he's the early access pack. I really don't see what else it could be. And the Faction Wars is just a normal season with the new Blood Rubies currency like the past couple weeks. Nothing else new. And in Injustice, the current character challenge mode is Gauntlet, so it's been 2 days for each challenge. We've already had Godfall Superman and Animated Batman Beyond, so this right now is Raven Prime for a very short amount of time, and the final one, the next challenge, will be for Batgirl Prime.
So hopefully we'll get the Earth 2 Solomon Grundy after that.
So this seems to be a rerun of popular challenge characters that people might not have had a chance to snag, which I think is nice for them to do.
Yeah, I think they took that from the lead, they experimented a bit on Immortals and the shorter challenges, and it seemed to work successfully.
Yeah, and the online multiplayer challenge is MetaHuman the Flash rewards for the top 3%.
Yeah.
And the Survivor gear set is the Lexcorp gear set. It's supposed to have actually gone on to the next one.
Yeah, see, I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
And they took the date off it, so we don't know when that's until. So now we'll move on to the Q&A portion of our video. First,
so I should just say too, right now it seems really sporadic and erratic when we're going to have access to the video replay. So instead of doing MP Online replays, we'll just grind the challenge for a little bit while we do our questions.
So the first question comes from CartmanMC, and they ask, if you guys were part of the NetherRealm Studios team, what would you add to Injustice that is not in Injustice on console? Examples, the Arkham Knight, Static, and Darkseid. This is a cool question. We totally should be on the NetherRealm Studios team in one capacity or another. NetherRealm hit us up. But,
yeah. Alright, so my first thing is, there's certain things that are obvious, and I'm going to go with some of the ones that I'd like to see that aren't so obvious. So from the Sandman mythos, I would like to see Death. I would like to see how they would animate her and what kind of moves she'd have. I think that would be really cool. Watchmen. I'd like to see the comedian. And Rorschach, same idea. I'd like to see what his moves would be.
I think, yeah, that would be really cool. I think that would be a kind of hard direction for them to go. Just because their characters have a lot of story centered around them as opposed to actual capabilities. And I think it would be kind of weird and hard for them to do it justice. It's a potentially different kind of audience to the people who play Injustice. But if they could do it, I think Rorschach would be the easiest person to incorporate, just because he's kind of like the flagship character for that.
Well, I'd argue that the comedian's sort of flagship because everybody.
Oh, the little happy button?
Happy face with the blood on it is iconic for the Watchmen. You know who I'd like to see? The whole, the Swamp Thing mythos. You could have John Constantine. You could have Black Orchid, you could have Floronic Man, you could have Swamp Thing himself. That would be cool.
Yeah, those are all really interesting characters. I think probably the reason why they aren't in yet, likely they're not going to be in, and I think the reason is because they're not as popular IP. But then again, I'm not exactly sure how popular all these guys are supposed to be. Like, I noticed
Killer Frost? How popular is Killer Frost?
Yeah, I noticed that they're really heavily weighted on their really kind of big IP.
There's
universes. A lot of Batman stuff. A lot of Superman guys. So it looks like they're going for the kind of highest paying, biggest bang for your buck characters. in the people that they're picking, but it would be definitely cool to see them put in some kind of like cult classic characters.
Sure.
Okay, so our next question comes from Heat Gaming, and he says, "Yee Miguel, I want to see that I grind all day, and it takes me about a week and a half to max aug 3 players. I need more time, so can you attempt to find a glitch on augmentations? There's no way there is 0 flaws in augmentations."
I mean, okay, not that we know, but we're pretty certain there's flaws everywhere. It's just a matter of whether they're exploitable or not. I mean, alright, so the thing is, we're not finding new flaws every time, like new for that particular update. There's a good chance that every glitch that we've demonstrated has been there since the first iteration of Injustice.
Or at least the ones that are present in stuff that's existed from the first iteration of Injustice.
Sure.
Like the kind of glitch that's present in the last laugh tickets glitch, I'm sure has been exploitable to some degree or another somewhere, whether it's to your advantage or not at some point in Injustice. But
right.
obviously it couldn't have been useful before it actually last laugh tickets were actually there to get extra copies of.
Right, but it's the same principle, right? When we were talking about originally when you could buy multiple packs.
Yeah, it's just another variation on multi-tap.
Right, so where you register a bunch of taps, multiple taps in the same area because the screen isn't changing because you're taking advantage of any kind of lag in your device. I mean, listen, the idea, there's a good chance that there's a bunch of glitches there that we don't know about, but it takes a huge number of hours of play to see some of them, and then that assumes that you're paying attention, so it probably takes even more hours to reproduce them. And if it isn't obvious yet, we don't have those hours, we rely on the diligence in the community of Injustice players to notice things, and we're happy to do work to refine the methods, but we can't start from nothing. So help a brother out and let us know when you find out about new glitches, and we'll be sure to check things out.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, most of the work that we can do on it is not actually finding the glitch, it's just figuring out the best way to use it and the risks that we feel people should know about when we're filming the video. Other than that, we're not actually, like, really even central to that process. We're just a kind of little branch of it.
Like I said, I think we're like Sony in the 80s and 90s. We were finding technology that's out there. Alright, very good.
The next question comes from Eliza Busse.
Elijah,
sorry, not Eliza.
That's a whole different
totally
whole different take.
Yeah. And they say, BDCKR gods, what character is the Riddler staff even effect with? I'm assuming they meant guys, but I'd like to think that we're their deity now, so I'm going to go with gods.
Yeah, it's probably autocorrect.
BDCKR gods. Is there a god of BDCKR, or are we gods named BDCKR?
Maybe his device autocorrecting is telling us something. Alright, okay. So, Riddler's staff actually seems really good for MP online defensive teams. That ability to blink or dodge Special 1 completely can be hugely effective. I think you can really see the benefit when a team that's built for specials has to face either Reverse Flash or Dawn of Justice Batman. It's the same idea. I mean, it's not exactly the same as the blink, but the blink doesn't trigger enough when you play it on offense to be a reliable strategy. But when you're looking at winning only a minority, like a small number of your defense fights, Riddler's staff can give you a few more wins.
Yeah, it'd be a tiny amount, but it would be like, noticeable on the trend of like thousands.
Yeah, really, the biggest difficulty with on MP Online defense wins is that the team that draws isn't necessarily the team that's going to be effective. So you want to draw a large number so that whatever percentage of wins you get gives you more battle points, but then you've got to tweak the gears to make sure that the guys that draw high are going to be effective for you.
Yeah, okay. So we've got a quick little question here from Momodou Senghore, and this is in response to when we were talking about the reveal that Captain America was Hydra in the comic series. If Cap was Hydra the whole time, how was he worthy of holding Thor's hammer? Now, this might be referencing something in the old comics, in which case this is a reboot, so the old stuff is not viable, but likely what they're referencing is in the Avengers, when he tries to pick up Thor's hammer. It's the Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, where they're at the party, he tries to pick up Thor's hammer and it wobbles, and it's supposed to be a funny moment because Thor is like laughing, watching everybody try, and then he stops smiling.
Yeah.
And the real quick answer to that is that the comics and the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, aren't actually the same universe. They're two separate kind of timelines. So if he's Hydra in the comics, that doesn't mean that he's Hydra in the movies. And it's unlikely that they'd pull such a big reveal from a comic so recent and so in the public eye for any of the MCU like decisions. So it's unlikely that Cap will actually be Hydra in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because they can't pull a punch twice.
And I'll give you an alternative explanation. I mean, this is the whole idea of retconning, right? Like, basically you're explaining away stuff. So it could also be that Cap is a triple agent. So he's still a good guy. So you know the idea of a double agent, right? You're pretending to be somebody else while secretly reporting to the enemy. Well, he could be pretending to be Hydra while secretly being... Well, he could actually just be a double agent that way. Never mind. I don't even need to make it that complicated.
Well, I think it is kind of a triple agent because you can feed Hydra fake info and you can...
oh, right, he's been pretending
that
to
whole
be...
thing.
Yeah.
He's pretending to be Hydra in an effort to feed Hydra fake info while also gaining intel about Hydra, so he's an agent, and then he's a double agent because he's on Hydra's side, but he's not actually on Hydra's side. It's another goof. He goofed Hydra real good.
There you go.
And the last, it's not a question, it's a comment, but we just wanted to talk about it because these are the videos where we can kind of do that the most out of any of the content we make, where we can just kind of do what we want. Because, you know, you guys are the loyal fan base watching us. It's the people who watch us for us as much or more than just for useful injustice tips. Though there is some of that here too. A lot of it you can glean from the comments. We appreciate you watching it. And it really shows that you like us as a channel, and that means a lot. But
so thank you.
Moving into the actual comment, it's Khaled Karkoush, and they say, I did this by mistake before I watched. Lol.
So that was a comment referencing the challenge reset. And, yeah, alright, so this is related to the earlier question about, you know, the new glitches and stuff, but also the comparison we've made before that, listen, this is clearly not the most important kind of groundbreaking information that we're finding, but what we're doing shares a lot, finding glitches and demonstrating them shares a lot with some of the best scientific discoveries, right? So the analogy I used before...
You know what that reminds me of? The part in the Bo Burnham comedy show? It's like, now, I don't want to make anybody think that, you know, this is really me, this is a persona. Man, I don't want to make anybody think that I think I know better than anyone else, or that whatever, and he's like, okay, this song is from the perspective of God.
Alright, so that's pretty much it, right?
So it's like, you know, we're not doing anything that important, but I think the stuff that we're doing is really in a lot of ways the same as the best science that has ever been done.
Okay, well, alright, now that you've really set it up. So back in the day, I believe it was Sir Sanford Fleming discovered penicillin, and how he discovered it was, he didn't know it was there and was looking for it. It was that he was doing an experiment with bacteria. He had it on an agar dish, growing, and there was an open window or something, and a bit of mold got into it. Now, most people at the time doing the science would have thought, okay, it's spoiled, and thrown it out.
doing the science.
Doing the science, man.
People who are doing the science would have thrown it out.
Doing the do. Alright, so they would have figured out that it was crap and thrown it out. He looked at it and noticed, hey, hold on a sec. Around the mold, the bacteria culture is just not growing. There's an area around it that's where the bacteria can't grow. And he thought, I wonder what's going on. And that was how he discovered penicillin. That was our first antibiotic. And he discovered it by accident because his experiment is screwed up, but he was patient enough to try to notice something interesting, but then try to reproduce it.
Yeah. So that does share limited amounts of similarity with the stuff we're doing in Injustice, where replication is important, and oftentimes the first kind of insight we'll get into a glitch, how to do it or how it works, won't actually be that useful, and it's in the refinement or the making an effort to to be able to control when we trigger the mistake to happen that it's actually
So it goes back
useful.
to the earlier question from Heat Gaming, I think, and it's that we're relying on our community of viewers to be scientists, to notice things, and bring some of it to our attention, or just even, it doesn't even have to be us, as long as you're aware of it and let people know, and we're willing to put in a little bit of time to experiment with it, I think we can discover a lot of interesting things, especially glitches.
Yeah, anyways, we'll do this one fight just because we started loading it. We don't want to tease you, but it's likely to not be that interesting because it'll be 3 hits.
Right, because these
not
are
consecutive.
These are our non-MP Online bronze and silver that we use basically to get through Nightmare on the challenges as fast as possible.
So there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. We already gave you a little bit of thank you, but it's always good to say that. We really appreciate it, and especially anybody who's gotten this far. You're doing wonders for our engagement and our watch time. So that is, in your own way, indirectly, you're giving us a little bit of money with the ad, you're giving us a little bit of help out with the engagement, and if you're already here, you might as well like it, and then comment something inane if you don't have anything meaningful to comment a question if you've been thinking of one, it doesn't matter, just
unless you love us. We'd appreciate that.
Say something, anything, get in a flame war in the comments, argue with somebody about something that doesn't matter. All of that, at the end of the day, helps us a very, very small amount, but it's a noticeable amount. So if you want to, there's your permission.
And yay for summer. Summer's coming.
So anyways, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.